The thermometer in Nashville just hit 11 degrees. 750,000 people have no power. And in exactly 72 hours, what is coming next will make this look mild. Right now, across Tennessee, Mississippi, and Louisiana, families are huddled in homes colder than their refrigerators. Tree limbs weighing thousands of pounds have crushed roofs. Power lines dangle like broken spider webs. But here is what almost nobody is talking about. The Arctic blast that caused this disaster? It is reloading. And the second wave will be worse. In the next 60 seconds, I am going to show you the exact hour the next freeze hits your city. Stay with me because at the 5-minute mark, I will reveal which cities face the highest danger this weekend. And if you are in Florida, what I am about to tell you at minute 12 will shock you. But first, let me tell you what is happening right this second. As I speak, an Arctic air mass is sitting over the Central Plains. It is not moving. It is growing, like a hibernating bear gathering strength before it attacks. Meteorologists are calling this a once-in-a-decade pattern. Here is why that matters to you. This morning in Little Rock, Arkansas, the temperature was 9 degrees. In Memphis, 12 degrees. Dallas-Fort Worth woke up to 14 degrees. These are not normal numbers for late January. These are numbers we see maybe once every 10 years. And the ice on the ground from the weekend storm? It is not melting. Not today, not tomorrow. Because temperatures are staying 20 to 30 degrees below normal. Let me paint you a picture of what is happening in Nashville right now. Imagine walking outside and seeing your neighbor's oak tree, the one that has stood for 40 years, split down the middle. Imagine ice so thick on power lines that they snap like guitar strings. I have been tracking weather for years, and the images coming out of Tennessee this morning are devastating. Entire neighborhoods sitting in darkness, people trying to stay warm by running their cars in garages, which is extremely dangerous. And here is the cruel twist. Just when these areas get a brief window to thaw tomorrow afternoon, just when repair crews can finally fix those power lines, another Arctic blast arrives. This one will be stronger, colder, and it will reach further south than anything we have seen this winter. Now, I promised you specific timing, so let me deliver on that promise right now. Pull up a chair, grab a pen, because what I am about to tell you could save you from being caught off guard. For those of you in Dallas, temperatures will climb above freezing tomorrow afternoon, Tuesday, for about 6 hours. That is your window. That is when the ice melts. That is when you can assess damage, clear your gutters, check your roof. Because by Wednesday morning, you are back down to 28 degrees. And by Friday morning, 18 degrees with wind chills near zero. Austin, Texas. You have the same window tomorrow. Tuesday afternoon, you will hit 35 degrees. Use that time wisely. By Saturday morning, you will be at 22 degrees, which is 28 degrees below your normal temperature for late January. Houston, your situation is slightly better but not by much. Tomorrow you will reach 42 degrees, but Friday morning brings 28 degrees. And here is what worries me about Houston. You are not used to this. Your infrastructure is not built for prolonged freezes. Remember February 2021? We could see similar problems. Now let me move to Tennessee and Kentucky. This is where I need you to pay very close attention. Nashville. Tomorrow afternoon you will barely touch 32 degrees. That is the freezing point. Just barely. Wednesday, you stay below freezing all day. 28 degrees is your high. Thursday and Friday, you are locked in the 22nds. And Saturday morning, 16 degrees. That means from Wednesday morning through Sunday, you have nearly 5 full days below freezing. Ice and snow are not going anywhere. Memphis, your numbers are almost identical. Tomorrow, 33 degrees for a brief afternoon window. Then you drop into a deep freeze. Wednesday through Sunday, you never get above 30 degrees. Saturday morning, you hit 14 degrees with wind chills near zero. Louisville, Kentucky. Tomorrow, 28 degrees. You do not even make it to freezing. Wednesday, 24 degrees. Thursday and Friday locked in the low 22nds. And Saturday morning, you could see 8 degrees. That is right. Single digits in Louisville. When was the last time that happened in late January? I will tell you. Not in the last 15 years. Lexington, Kentucky. almost identical to Louisville. You are looking at 5 straight days in the 20 seconds or lower. Saturday morning, 10 degrees. Now, let me talk to my viewers in the Ohio Valley. Columbus, Cleveland, Cincinnati, Pittsburgh. You are entering a brutal stretch. Tomorrow, temperatures stay in the teens and low 20 seconds. By Wednesday morning, Columbus hits 4 degrees. That is 4 degrees. Wind chills will be 15 below zero. Cleveland, you will see 2 degrees Wednesday morning. Pittsburgh, 6 degrees. And this cold air just sits there. Thursday morning, Columbus is still at 3 degrees. Cleveland at 0. Pittsburgh at 4 degrees. And then Friday night into Saturday, the second Arctic blast arrives. This is when things get truly extreme. Columbus could drop to 2 degrees below zero. Saturday morning, Cleveland, 5 degrees below zero. Pittsburgh, 1 degree above zero. Cincinnati, 3 degrees. These are life-threatening temperatures. If you lose power in the Ohio Valley this weekend, you need a backup plan. You need to know where you can go. Let me move to the Mid-Atlantic now. Baltimore, Washington, D.C., Philadelphia, New York. You are about to experience something remarkable. Not the first blast. You have been cold. But the second blast this weekend will shatter records. Baltimore. By Saturday morning, you could hit 8 degrees. That is 42 degrees below your normal temperature. Think about that. 42 degrees below normal. Philadelphia. 6 degrees Saturday morning. That is 45 degrees below normal. Washington, D.C. 12 degrees. New York City. 10 degrees. Here is what that means practically. If you have exposed pipes, they will freeze. If you have an older furnace, it will work overtime. If you have drafty windows, you will feel it. This is not regular winter cold. This is the kind of cold that finds every weakness in your home. Boston, you are looking at 0 degrees Saturday morning. Hartford, Connecticut, 2 degrees below zero. Providence, Rhode Island, 0 degrees. Portland, Maine, 8 degrees below zero. This is dangerous cold. Frostbite can occur in less than 10 minutes with wind chills this low. Now here is where this story takes an unexpected turn, and this is the part I told you about at the beginning. If you are watching from Florida, you need to hear this, because what is about to happen in Florida is extremely rare. Tampa. By Sunday morning, you will be at 38 degrees. Orlando, 32 degrees. That is a freeze. Jacksonville, 28 degrees. Tallahassee, 24 degrees. But here is the shocking part. Miami. Miami could drop to 45 degrees Sunday morning. When was the last time Miami saw temperatures in the 40s in late January? Almost never. This cold air is pushing that far south. And for citrus growers in Central Florida, this is a nightmare scenario. Temperatures at or below 32 degrees for more than 4 hours can damage citrus crops. Orlando could be at or below freezing for 6 to 8 hours Sunday morning. That is significant. Let me talk to viewers in the Deep South now. Atlanta, Birmingham, Jackson, Shreveport, Baton Rouge, New Orleans. You are in a tough spot. Many of you still have ice on the ground from the weekend storm, and that ice is not melting fast enough. Atlanta, tomorrow you reach 35 degrees. That helps. But Wednesday, you are back down to 30 degrees, and Saturday morning, 18 degrees. Birmingham, nearly identical numbers. Saturday morning, 16 degrees. Jackson, Mississippi, this is critical for you. You are still recovering from the ice storm. Tomorrow, you barely touch 34 degrees. Wednesday, 28 degrees. And Saturday, 14 degrees. That is brutal. Shreveport, Louisiana, your Saturday morning low is 16 degrees. Baton Rouge, 24 degrees. New Orleans, 28 degrees. Now let me address the viewers along the Gulf Coast. Mobile, Alabama, Pensacola, Florida, Biloxi, Mississippi. You are looking at hard freezes this weekend. Mobile, Saturday morning, 22 degrees. Pensacola, 26 degrees. Biloxi, 24 degrees. These are temperatures you only see once or twice a winter, if that. Let me move north now to the Midwest. Chicago, you are already used to brutal cold, but Saturday morning, you hit 5 degrees below zero. Milwaukee, 8 degrees below zero. Minneapolis, You are the coldest spot in the nation. Saturday morning, 18 degrees below zero. Wind chills of 35 below zero. Do not go outside unless absolutely necessary. Des Moines, Iowa, 10 degrees below zero Saturday. Omaha, Nebraska, 6 degrees below zero. Kansas City, Missouri, 4 degrees. Now here is what I have not told you yet. The part I promised at the 5-minute mark. Which cities face the highest danger? Let me break it down. Highest danger Tier 1? These are cities that have 3 factors working against them: prolonged cold, existing power outages, and infrastructure not designed for extreme cold. Nashville, Memphis, Little Rock, Jackson, Shreveport, Birmingham. If you live in these cities and you still do not have power, you need to find a warming shelter. This is not optional. Temperatures inside homes without heat will drop into the 30 seconds and 40 seconds. That is dangerous, especially for elderly residents and young children. Highest danger Tier 2. These are cities with extreme cold and high wind chills but better infrastructure. Columbus, Cleveland, Pittsburgh, Buffalo, Minneapolis, Chicago, Milwaukee. The danger here is frostbite and hypothermia if you are outside for extended periods. Also, car breakdowns. If your car battery is more than 3 years old, it may not start Saturday morning. Highest danger Tier 3. These are southern cities not used to hard freezes. Tampa, Orlando, Mobile, Pensacola, Houston, San Antonio. The danger here is burst pipes, car accidents on icy roads, and a general lack of preparation. If you have outdoor plants that matter to you, bring them inside. If you have outdoor faucets, insulate them. If you have a pool pump, make sure it keeps running. Now let me tell you about the snow potential, because here is the twist. This Arctic air mass is so cold and so strong that it could generate snow as far south as the Gulf Coast this weekend. Let me explain how. On Friday night, a weak, low-pressure system will develop off the coast of the Carolinas. This is called an offshore low. As that low moves northeast along the coast, it will pull moisture from the Atlantic Ocean. And when that moisture meets the Arctic air over land, we get snow. Right now, the models are showing the best chance for accumulating snow in North Carolina, Virginia, and South Carolina Friday night into Saturday morning. Raleigh, North Carolina. You could see 2 to 4 inches Friday night. Charlotte, 1 to 3 inches. Richmond, Virginia, 2 to 5 inches. Charleston, South Carolina. This is rare for you, but you could see 1 to 2 inches Saturday morning. That would be remarkable. Myrtle Beach, a dusting to 1 inch. But here is where it gets interesting. There is a 20 to 30% chance that a separate system develops over the Gulf of Mexico Saturday. If that happens, if we get Gulf moisture colliding with Arctic air, we could see snow flurries or even light snow in New Orleans, Mobile, Pensacola, and Tallahassee. The odds are not high, maybe 20%, but they are not zero. And that alone is noteworthy. Oklahoma City, Tulsa, Wichita, you could see light snow Friday and Saturday, maybe 1 to 3 inches. Amarillo, Texas, 2 to 4 inches. Lubbock, 1 to 3 inches. This is not a major snow event for you, but it adds to the cold and the travel problems. Now let me pivot to the Great Lakes. Because if you live near Lake Michigan or Lake Erie or Lake Ontario, you know what lake effect snow means. And this weekend, we are setting up for heavy lake effect bands. Grand Rapids, Michigan, you could see 8 to 12 inches of snow from lake effect Friday through Sunday. Buffalo, New York. This is your specialty. You could see 12 to 18 inches in the hardest hit southern suburbs. Syracuse, 6 to 10 inches. Erie, Pennsylvania, 8 to 14 inches. These lake effect snows are highly localized. You could have 12 inches in one neighborhood and nothing 5 miles away. It depends on the wind direction and the exact position of the snow bands. But if you are in a traditional lake effect snow belt, prepare for significant accumulation this weekend. Now, I want to talk about wind chills, because this is where the danger really escalates. A wind chill is what the temperature feels like on exposed skin when you factor in the wind. And this weekend, wind chills will be life-threatening across much of the northern United States. Fargo, North Dakota. Wind chills Saturday morning could reach 40 degrees below zero. International Falls, Minnesota. 45 below zero. Duluth, 38 below zero. At these temperatures, frostbite occurs in less than 5 minutes. Minneapolis, 35 below zero. Green Bay, Wisconsin, 30 below zero. Chicago, 20 below zero. Detroit, 18 below zero. Even further south, wind chills will be brutal. Indianapolis, 10 below zero. Cincinnati, 8 below zero. Pittsburgh, 12 below zero. Columbus, 10 below zero. These are dangerous numbers. If you work outside, if you have to commute early in the morning, dress in layers, cover all exposed skin, limit your time outdoors. Now, let me tell you what happens after this weekend, because I know you are wondering, when does this end? When do we get relief? And here is the answer. It depends where you live. For the southern states, relief comes quickly. By Monday, Dallas is back up to 48 degrees. Houston, 58 degrees. New Orleans, 54 degrees. Atlanta, 46 degrees. The cold air retreats north. You get back to seasonal temperatures. The ice melts. Life returns to normal. For the Ohio Valley and the Mid-Atlantic, it takes longer. Columbus does not get back above freezing until Monday afternoon. Baltimore, Sunday afternoon. Philadelphia, Sunday. But by Monday and Tuesday, you are back in the 30 seconds and 40 seconds. Still cold, but manageable. For the Great Lakes and the Northeast, you stay cold longer. Chicago does not get above freezing until Tuesday. Minneapolis, Wednesday. Buffalo, Monday. But at least the extreme cold ends. At least the wind chills moderate. And here is the big question everyone is asking. Is this pattern going to continue? Are we going to see more Arctic blasts after this? And the answer is, it is complicated. Long-range models suggest that early February could bring a slight warm-up. But then, mid-February could turn cold again. We are in a pattern dominated by a strong polar vortex. And when the polar vortex is strong and locked over the Arctic, cold air spills south into North America. That is what we are seeing. Now, I want to address a concern that I know many of you have. Power outages. Right now, 750,000 people are without power across Tennessee, Mississippi, Texas, and Louisiana. Utility crews are working around the clock. But the problem is the sheer scale of the damage. Ice on power lines adds tremendous weight. A half-inch of ice on a power line can add 500 pounds of weight to a 50-foot span. That weight causes lines to sag and snap. It causes tree limbs to break and fall. And when thousands of lines are down, it takes days or even weeks to restore power to everyone. If you are one of the people still without power, here is what you need to know. Use generators outside only. Never run a generator inside your home or garage. Carbon monoxide poisoning kills dozens of people every winter during power outages. If you are using a fireplace or wood stove, make sure your chimney is clear. If you are using space heaters, keep them away from curtains and furniture. And if your home drops below 50 degrees inside, seriously consider going to a warming shelter or staying with family or friends. For those of you who do have power, now is the time to prepare in case you lose it. Charge your phones, fill bathtubs with water, gather flashlights and batteries, have non-perishable food available, know where your nearest warming shelter is located. Hoping for the best, but preparing for the worst is always the right strategy. Now let me talk about travel. If you have travel plans this weekend, you need to reconsider them. The combination of extreme cold, snow, and ice makes travel dangerous across much of the country. Airlines are already issuing travel waivers for cities in the south. Flights are being canceled. Roads are still ice-covered in many areas. And even if roads are clear, the extreme cold can cause car problems. Batteries die. Tires lose pressure. Engines struggle to start. If you absolutely must travel, give yourself extra time. Pack an emergency kit with blankets, water, snacks, a flashlight, and a phone charger. Tell someone your route and your expected arrival time. And if you start to slide on ice, do not slam on the brakes. Ease off the gas. Steer in the direction you want to go. Stay calm. Now, before I wrap up, I want to give you city-by-city forecasts for the rest of the major cities I have not covered yet. Because I know some of you are watching from other places and you are wondering, what about me? Seattle, you are in a different pattern. You will see rain this week. Lots of rain. Wednesday could bring 2 to 3 inches of rain. Flooding is possible in low-lying areas. Temperatures stay in the 40 seconds and 50 seconds. You are not dealing with the Arctic air. You are dealing with an atmospheric river. That is a different problem. Portland, Oregon, same story. Rain Wednesday and Thursday. Temperatures in the mid-40 seconds. Snow in the Cascades above 3,000 feet. Maybe 6 to 12 inches in the mountains. Los Angeles, you stay dry and mild. Temperatures in the 60 seconds all week. No weather concerns for you. San Francisco, same as Los Angeles. Dry and pleasant. Temperatures in the upper 50 seconds and low 60 seconds. Phoenix, you stay warm. Temperatures in the 60 seconds and low 70 seconds. Sunny skies. You are in the clear. Las Vegas, temperatures in the 50 seconds. Mostly sunny, no issues. Denver, you are on the edge of the Arctic air. Temperatures in the 20 seconds and 30 seconds this week. Friday and Saturday, you could see light snow. Maybe 1 to 3 inches, but nothing major. Salt Lake City, similar to Denver. Cold but not extreme. Temperatures in the 30 seconds. Light snow possible Friday. Albuquerque, temperatures in the 30 seconds and 40 seconds. Breezy but dry. Now, as we wrap up, I want to leave you with 3 key takeaways. 3 things you absolutely need to remember. Number 1, tomorrow, Tuesday afternoon, is the only window this week for many southern cities to get above freezing. Use that time to prepare. Assess damage. Clear ice. Check on neighbors. Number 2, Saturday morning is the peak of the cold. That is when temperatures will be coldest across the entire country. From Miami to Minneapolis, Saturday morning is when you need to be most careful. That is when pipes burst. That is when cars do not start. That is when the danger is highest. Number 3, if you lose power, have a plan. Know where you can go. Do not try to tough it out in a freezing house. It is not worth the risk. And here is my ask for you. In the comments below, tell me where you are watching from. Tell me your city, because I read every single comment, and I want to make sure I am covering your area in future videos. If you are in a small town that I did not mention today, drop your location in the comments. I will do my best to give you a forecast in the replies. Also, if you found this information helpful, share this video with your family and friends. Share it with your neighbors, especially the elderly neighbors who may not be online. Print out the key information for them. Check on them. We are all in this together. Now, here is what is coming next. In my next video, I am going to dive deep into the long-range forecast for February. Are we looking at more Arctic blasts? Is there a pattern change coming? Will the South see more winter storms? I have been analyzing the models, and there are some very interesting signals. You do not want to miss that video. It is coming in the next 48 hours. And if you want the absolute latest updates, I post short updates on our community tab several times a day. That is where you will get breaking information if anything changes. This weather pattern is volatile. Models update every 6 hours. And if I see something that changes the forecast, you will know about it immediately. One more thing. If you are new here, hit that subscribe button. Turn on notifications. Because weather like this can change quickly, and you want to be informed. You want to be prepared. And that is what we do here. We give you the information you need to stay safe. All right, that is it for today. Stay warm out there. Stay safe. Check on your neighbors. And remember, Saturday morning is the peak of the cold. Be ready. I will see you in the next video.